You're listening to Empire of Rust, the first and greatest Transformers RPG podcast. Join the heroes of Cybertron as the last vestiges of Starscream's war take them to the far-flung colonies to defend the planet from distant threats and protect the Cybertronian Republic from the shadow of the Harmonium.
Welcome back to Empire of Rust, the first and greatest Transformers RPG podcast. We had to break up this episode into two parts because our recording ran quite long. So without further ado, let's jump right into part 2 of High Society, Low Standing. The day of the soiree, all of you get polished up, nice and oiled and shiny, makes sure to buff out any dings and scratches from the weeks of the constant combat that you have had to suffer through. And you arrive, or I should say, Iron Lift escorts you to the Quartet's palace and up into this event. So before we begin on this, let me give you a quick little rundown as to how this is going to work. So you know there are going to be the 4 members of the Quartet there. And each of you will have an opportunity to speak to any of them. In fact, you know what? Let me just go ahead and put you over to a new map.
Oh, a new map, you say?
We're going to run this in rounds. Each round, you are going to pick one person to talk to. There are the 4 members of the Quartet there, along with a bunch of other characters that you can interact with. Some are going to be useful to speak to, others less so. But the point is, each of you, each round, can pick one to speak with. Each successful interaction that you have with one of the Quartets will get you a point. And you need to get a certain number of points to get a certain result. Obviously, the higher the points you have, the more beneficial this gathering is going to be for you and for Cybertron and for Windblade. Now, some quick math will tell you that 4 of you, for the Quartets, if you succeed every one of them, you'll have a maximum score of 16. That is unlikely, but it's possible. And any other person you talk to will not get you any points towards your goal, but could provide you information or some benefit to talking to one of the Quartet. You will be, and as you are approaching the front doors to the gathering room here, you will be asked to disarm. The guards stop you at the door. There's 2 of these giant burly bots that you see off on the right-hand side. They will stop you. All handheld weaponry, please proceed to the check room. Any equipment or any offensive or defensive equipment that is part of your body must be made safe. You will not be allowed to see the Quartets with weapons in hand.
Isn't that them right over there?
And you can see that there is a pile of little suppressor devices, and it looks like they are going to attach to any any weapon hard points that you have that you can't remove from your body. So effectively, it's going to be like a reflective shield that ends up going within the actual barrel of your guns to prevent them from firing, to deactivate them. Otherwise, your actual handheld weapons that you can take out and move around all need to go and be checked. And I think it's at this point that Carapace throws up his hands and, "Fuck it, I don't want to deal with this. Not dealing with it," and storms off.
Carapace.
No, I worked hard to earn these weapons. And he points everything that he has on his back.
You'll have to forgive Carapace. He's very emotional about his weapons.
He hasn't killed anything for 2 days.
I know. Well, I mean, if we're still alive.
Oh, believe me, I understand.
Did take a hole on our street, though.
He calls out down the aisle, down the hall. I sympathize.
Give him a few minutes. I'll come around.
I see you. You are seen.
On comms, I'll tell Carapace.
Hey, Carapace, while you're out there, why don't you just keep an eye out for anything suspicious?
Okay.
Insert Carapace voice here.
I think the audience is buying it, aren't they? The listeners.
We're totally pulling it off.
So yeah, do you want to disarm and let them make any hardpoint weapons safe for you?
I have no hardpoint weapons. So
Okay, then you just need to give them all your guns.
Alrighty. So, open the trench coat and I'll pull out the shield projector and the gravity well generator.
This should take a while.
The gigantic bazooka or missile launcher.
They just take each one like nonplussed, like, yep, check, yep, check. Excuse me, sir, is that garment, that pink garment, is that a shield of some kind?
Only
against fashion.
Oh, yeah. but he said, yeah. All right, well, I'll give him everything I have, I guess.
Okay. Spindrift?
Are you forgetting the lighter?
This is non-lethal lighter.
It's a flame weapon.
You have used it as one before, so yeah.
All right, sweet spot. I'm not gonna have my smokes while I'm in here. I
understand that, but we don't want to take any chances with stepping on any toes. If you feel that you need to excuse yourself to take care of your smoking habit, then you go right ahead.
I'll just set fire to something else.
Without a lighter, I don't see how.
Turns out you take a penalty every round, like cumulative. -1 first round, -2.
I didn't know how important it was to him. By the way,
little robot's room, and he comes back covered in patches.
Mike, I want to commend you for changing the color cube next to Matt's name on the Roll20 here to pink. Very, very fitting.
Oh.
Yeah, on the Roll20 screen, there's like a little cube to indicate your character's color.
There we go. Perfect.
Spindrift, how about you? Dropping your weapons off?
So I don't have any weapons that aren't part of my body.
Okay.
And when I'm in bot mode, the talons and the bite attack aren't available. But my blast is through my arms, so I'm wondering if they'd even know I had them.
That's a good question. I'm actually going to make a perception check and see what they notice.
The real question is, are you going to try to hide it from them?
I think I won't say anything about the bite or the talons, because I'm not going to transform into bot mode. Transform to alt mode. But I will mention about the blast, because they have a way to cap it, essentially, you said.
Yeah. So effectively what it is it's like a small circular device that goes right either around or right inside a generating field, and it's effectively like a reflective shield. So if you attempted to shoot anything, it would just reflect back on you and blow up whatever you have there. So
like a barrel plug for any weapon.
Yeah, I think I'll tell him about it.
You tell him? Okay.
Yeah.
This is a very esoteric weapon. We need to go ahead and take care of this.
Of course.
And then lock it down.
I'll keep it close.
Should I?
What that is.
Oh no, never mind.
Sorry.
And Sweet Spot, how about you?
Well, I am very plainly going to show them my shoulder-mounted laser, which is, of course, part of my body. So you go right ahead and plug that up if you need to.
And they will.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, there are these forearm blades that are fairly new, but I consider them to be fairly dangerous when I want them to be. You might want to kind of put a blunting sleeve on those.
And they will do that.
And of course, my most dangerous weapon is, I point to my face, my smile, and I smile right at them.
And they put a block right on top of your mouth.
You may remember that very.
Oh, sorry. We assumed you had a bite attack of some kind.
Thank you. But I was being kind of funny, a little bit of comedy, lighten the mood in here.
It was great. I got a picture.
Great, sweet spot with the ball game.
So your handler is going to meet you right outside there, and it's kind of bend to the side as she's watched you deal with getting your weapons aside. Her name is Parsona. You can see her artwork right there. And she will say, all right, if there is nothing else, then let us go in, and I will point out whom you should talk to. But this is a meet and greet, so anything that you need some help with, anything that you'd like to ask, feel free to ask me, and I will answer as best I can.
Right.
I was told that your friend Ironlift, Lieutenant Ironlift, requested to be part of your party, and we have clearance for him to come in as well.
Very good. Can we get a visual, like a description of what this bot looks like?
Yeah,
sure.
Sinister.
She is a fembot with it almost looks like a crown-ish kind of helmet. It's like a purple and pink crownish helmet. Purple hands, and yeah, I will admit, she does have a very sinister look, but she is coming across as very, very pleasant and very helpful. She will lead you and the rest of you into the party, and she will, just so you can kind of get your bearings, she will lead you over to the table to the left, the closest area to the left there, and let you just kind of, again, get your bearings and get a lay of the land. So looking around here, you can see that there are dozens of bots in this space. You can see the 4 members of the quartet scattered around the space, and Parsona will point out that, over there. You can see crowds of bots around them. And from what you have learned from that diplomatic packet, there are other regional governors here, the leaders of many of the guilds, along with just anyone who is politically well-connected enough to warrant an invitation to this. And you can tell that there's most of the people here are very high rollers within the society. The space is very opulent, very artistic, swirling sculpted metal plates are along the walls and along the ceilings. It's 100% not boxy. It almost looks like it's living. It's a very sinuous kind of form to the space. Very beautifully done, very artistic, and you would imagine that this is the height of architectural style for the civilization.
All right, everyone. Let's keep comm channels open, but at a low volume, and that way, anything one of us learns, the others can know. All right. So, since this is our one shot at this thing, we do have to kind of gauge our time properly. Don't spend too much time not talking to one of the higher ups. They will definitely take offense at that if they are as high up on the food chain as we know that they are. We probably want to press Miss Parsona for any questions in advance before we start to branch out and mingle. And maybe if someone else needs more information, one of us can go back and chat with her with the comms open so that we can all benefit from her knowledge. So we're probably not going to get more than one chance to kind of talk to any one person. So we do want to kind of make our way through the crowd, but take your time and get your important questions asked and get a feel for them as much as we can. Probably shouldn't shouldn't all kind of gang up on one person. You know, we do want to spread out so that we can we cover the room quite nicely. Yeah, I think that's more or less it. We do want to make sure that we're giving some attention to each other, and of course, be as honest with our answers as we can. Stay away from the topics that we discussed, so that they don't get too many ideas up front. We don't want to be labeled as spies when we return home, you know.
Yeah, that'd be awful. We did characterizing us because we were horrible at information gathering. So,
I have a feeling that we'll do pretty well tonight. It looks like a very peaceful gathering, and Carapace is not here. I mean, all things are pointing in the right way.
Okay, I want all of you to make an initiative check, but this is going to be a slightly different. D20 plus either diplomacy, intimidation, or culture. You can pick whichever one you think is best in this case. We are not doing initiative in terms of just kind of pure initiative, because you're not trying to like run through it as quick as possible. You're trying to be as suave as you possibly can.
Now, what is this going to entail? Will it determine whose encounter you kind of take care of first, or will it give us first line of questioning in any particular situation that we're in?
It is the first encounter that we are doing. So if Sweet Spot wins the initiative this one, he gets to make the first question to whomever he wants to approach. And we're gonna do this by rounds, and we're gonna do a different initiative on each round.
Well, I think I'm gonna have a pretty good notion of stuff to ask and give some good information for everyone else. So I'm gonna use diplomacy for mine.
Okay.
Can I use bluff?
Not right now. Diplomacy, intimidation, or culture. You're not trying to lie your way through the room. Or are you?
Or is he?
There's no other way to do it.
I got myself a diplomacy of 26 for initiative.
Okay.
23.
23 for the drift.
Is this a skill check? Is this a real skill check?
Effectively, yeah.
36.
We're going to start this in just a moment. Two things to be aware of. You can ask Persona, just kind of basic questions, like right now if you want to just get some idea of what you want to go for, as we're going through here, as long as you're near Persona. The encounter is going to end as soon as each of you speak with each of the quartet.
Okay.
All right. So plan out or kind of think about the order you want to approach this as close as you can. So with a 36, Magnum, you are leading us off.
Well, I'm going to ask Persona, who would you say is handles all the social functions? Not one of the quartet, but who would be important in social functions, or is it an important contributor to social functions in the society?
Let's see. Probably. That would be Ozarelix or Vestusum. You can see Ozarelix over there in the top left corner. It's that red and blue box between two of the servants. And you can see all these little yellow icons around the edges are Micromaster servants.
Either of them have any pet projects that they're particularly proud of or have done really well in? Very, very interesting to see all the amazing games that they have created.
Ozarelix, not so much. He is the head of staff for the quartet. He's actually the one responsible for planning this whole soiree right now. So everything that's been going on here is because of him. Whereas Vestusum is, well, I think the best way of putting it in terms your culture can understand is the tiebreaker. Vestusum is the person who would break any stalemates between the quartet if the quartet voted 2-2 on an issue.
Right, Secretary of State. No, that would be Speaker of the House.
Yeah, kind of.
I guess I'll go over to talk to with Aureliex, Oxylorex.
Auxiliarex.
He looks like Superman.
Yeah.
Superman was a transformer. All right, I'll go and talk to
Mixoplex.
Alex the Rex.
Yeah.
Desperately trying to pronounce it right. Yeah, exactly. Definitely trying to pronounce it correctly so I don't create an international incident. Hey, Oxy.
Hey, oxymoron.
Okay. Go ahead and go with him then.
All right. How you doing? Thank you. I don't want to kill you. Good evening. Your tiebreaker ship.
The tiebreaker is the other one, Vesusium tiebreaker.
Pardon me.
Azarelli.
Excuse me.
There you go. It's right down there.
Oh. Vesusium. Hot tempered, isn't it? Good afternoon, your Vesusius. Nice to meet you.
Ambassador Magnum, is it? And she holds out her hand to shake.
Oh, very, very pleased to meet you. Yes, indeed. And you are the very highly respected Vesusian, as I have heard already.
Oh, you flatter me.
See, I mean, yes, it's only deserved from what I hear.
Vesusium is a dark gray and red fembot, very lithe and very agile looking, very thin, very narrow.
I was told that you have a very important, on top of your very important role as, making sure decisions actually get made, that you are important in the social structure of this planet, which I find fascinating and interesting and really, really extremely tightly put together and very functional. And I was wondering if we have you to credit for that.
You do me far too much credit, good ambassador. I simply serve in my role to make certain that there isn't any blockage, any stalemate in the process. Because every now and again, as you can imagine, even people like the Quartet are going to come to heads on things in our society. So, yes, again, you do me far too much credit. All glory and honor goes to the Quartet to keep our great machine running.
Glory and honor to the Quartet, yes, most definitely. I can definitely understand that feeling. Yeah, I can definitely unblock it because I hate those. But never mind. I don't want to hear about it. I mean, can you tell me more about your government and how this works? I mean, and what would you like to maybe what could Cybertron do for you that you would find beneficial? Because we are eager to have this be a profitable venture for both sides.
I think the best thing that we could, or that Cybertron could provide to us, if we're speaking in blunt terms, is Energon. We always need Energon, of course, and although it is a very important part to our society, I think trade partners would be the better thing that we need, or that we could use. Because, as you can imagine, our society is very self-sufficient. It is centralized. It is, again, the great machine. I think being able to export our ideology to the greater galaxy would be one of the one of the big selling points of an alliance with Cybertron.
That sounds incredibly beneficial. Yes, indeed. Energon is definitely, it's a challenge we face as well. But, it's definitely something that we probably could cooperate on between the two of us to, get some in your direction as we start figuring out our own problems with that. But I can't imagine they wouldn't have. Definitely trade would be very beneficial, I think. We're not exactly overflowing this stuff yet, but with the proper knowledge and research, maybe that we could unite resources in that regard. Certainly, learning your methods and your ideology sounds like it would be major efficiency gains across any kind of culture that you touch.
Now, at any point during your interaction with any of these folks, and this goes for all of you as well, you may make a roll to try and get this person on your side. The DCs are going to be different for each particular skill that you want to try. Some are not going to be useful at all. Others you'll have an easier time with different people as well. So, one of the, someone up here may like Magnum, more than Sweet Spot, for example, just because of who they are, of who Magnum is.
Sure.
But the opposite of that may be true as well. Like the different things that you do during this party will either increase or decrease the DCs for the skill checks you can use to get these people on your side.
I have one more question at the roll.
Sure,
just
go
for
for
our
it.
information. Your culture is definitely something that has a lot of very impressive points to it.
Go on.
Well, we were very interested to learn about it, definitely. I am concerned that, what would you say, and obviously I'm no doubt you've already conquered it, what do you think the biggest bugaboo was when you were trying to put together and maintain this amazing machine? It's something we would definitely want to avoid on our side if we want to emulate you.
Well, I am told that you, and this is going to sound very strange, but you do not have a caste structure on your world?
Yeah, we don't. It's all willy-nilly.
Huh. From what I understand, and I am not the oldest member of my species, of course, but from what I understand, the beginnings of this colony were very hard and very difficult to get through, simply because everyone was, as you so eloquently put it, willy-nilly, looking out for themselves and looking out for their best interest. It wasn't until we unified within the great machine that we were able to rise to the heights that we did, that we have.
Maintaining the caste structure is a challenge?
No, it was a challenge before the caste structure was put in place.
So it functions very well now.
Correct.
Wonderful. So much to learn. All right, I'm going to make my good diplomacy roll before I set something on fire.
That's fair.
I did find my character sheet, so I have it now. So it would be, I assume it would be diplomacy?
It would be diplomacy, yes. And because of something you did, you are going to get a bonus on this. It's going to reduce the DC.
All right. I'm thinking I should use bluff, given that very little of what I said was actually true. But
bluff is an option with her, so
I could just do diplomacy, considering trying to be
up
nice.
to you.
It does not a huge difference. Is the DC going to change?
I couldn't tell you right now.
I'll do diplomacy. That's what I planned on.
Okay.
All right. Right.
I will say that you did something though that gave you a bonus to it.
Well, I was definitely kissing the rear plates. Oh God! Should have done bluff. Should I re-roll?
Is that an option for you?
It is. I just don't know if this one's important enough.
What'd you get before you decided to reroll?
I got it's a 24. So, yeah, it's important enough. I will use my comedic timing feat to sort of on my last. I'll try to light my cigarette and I'll drop it and I'll oh, sorry, excuse me, and then make a different face. Try to be more charming this time around. And a little bit better. 29. Can't break 30 to save my life. It's definitely better, though.
All right, so that's a 29. And yes, that is a success. Now, don't forget that she is not a member of the quartet, so this right here is not going to give you any points towards the final outcome. But you have successfully won your charms out on over her. So what she'll do is she will give you a piece of advice.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested in the cultural differences and what your society could offer us, you might want to speak with Seraphim 7. She is certainly the most progressive among all the quartet, the most open to change. If you speak to her about what your society can offer, I think you'll get far with her.
I very much appreciate it. It was an incredible pleasure to meet you.
And you as well. And she will shake your hand again.
Shake hands. All right. I think that was probably worth the price, the cost of admission to this one. So basically, she said that what's the person's name? Seraphim 7 is socially progressive.
Correct.
Okay, I'm done then.
Okay, so Sweet Spot, that brings it to you for this round, and followed by Spindrift. Can you beat out Magnum on this one?
I would be surprised.
That's just easy. Considering Magnum went to this season.
Her mischievousness.
And not one of the quartet. I think I should probably visit one of the quartet. And
just remember that the people, the sub people, give information which might help with the quartet. That's why I wanted to go to someone who wasn't one of the quartet first, but it might not be what you're interested in. That's just the reasoning I had.
Well, I think we should give them some attention right off the bat. So I might start with one.
Don't forget, you can ask Persona something when you have to make that choice.
Oh, yeah. I should start with that.
My Persona.
All right, Persona.
It's Parsona. Thank you.
Parsona. My apologies.
Yeah, parse it correctly there, Sweet Spot. Come on. In the name.
This is extremely helpful of what you're doing for us here. I know it's in service of your own community, but we appreciate it as well. I really, from the name, I was really interested in talking to Prime Arbiter Cortex because, I'm kind of partial to anyone with Prime in their name. Makes them seem important. What can you tell me about him? Is there anything I shouldn't mention to him?
Prime Arbiter Cortex is the head of state. And as a result, this is his domain. As you are probably already aware, each of the quartets have specializations in each of their particular domains. And if I may offer a little bit of advice for you, Ambassador, because this is his domain, you might want to approach some of the other quartet first, rather than jumping right to Prime Arbiter. Just because it is socially more appropriate to save him for a bit later. Unless you have something incredibly important and life-altering to tell him immediately. But since this is a social situation, that would be my recommendation.
But you can't tell me anything that I should not say to him. Anything that
Sounds
might
like you should say anything to him.
Well, certainly. Bear in mind that that he is the one of the heads of the Great Machine. So the idea of implying that society is not as unified as you feel or as that it looks is not something you want to discuss with Cortex. But yes, I mean he is going to be interested in hearing, I think, mostly everything of what you have to say. I don't think there's any particular topics you should avoid from him. Don't insult him, obviously. That's not a good idea.
Clearly. My child, you cut me to the quick by merely implying it. All right, well, what about, I don't know, General Silver over here? He's very close.
Yes, General Aris Silver is the head of the military. As far as I'm aware, he has been military his entire career, and he is very curious about the concept of free will. As you can imagine, the idea of free will and self-autonomy is an anathema to our society. But as far as anyone within the quartet, he, I think, will be the most outspoken about those topics.
Very good to know. I think I'm going to go and, you know what? No. That seems like I need deeper information. How about, who's that? Archon Firaxis?
Archon Firaxis is our religious leader.
Ah, yes.
He is keenly interested in the worship of Micronus and his effects on society. I imagine he'll be very interested to speak with you about other primes as well, especially any other primes that are the arbiters of their own colonies. Any living primes he would certainly be interested to discuss. But I imagine he would be very interested in what prime was advocate for your colony.
All right. Now, let me ask you about your religion before I go and talk with Archon Firaxis.
The Great Micromasters, yes.
Yeah. Do you have what would be commonly known as the devil in your religion?
The devil. What is that?
The devil, an anti-worshipped persona. Not
like an enemy to Micronus?
Yeah, something like an anti-hero, someone who kind of dissuades people from following the right path, so to speak. Someone perhaps who tempts bots away from, what they should be doing or should be worshiping or how they should be living.
We do not have that. Such a thing would imply a fundamental disorder to the cosmos.
Okay. Well, what would you call someone who dissents from the general populace in their way of thinking?
A rogue.
A rogue. Okay, good to know. I think I will go and talk with Archon Firaxis right now. I thank you for your input, yes. And
of course.
If you see Carapace, just kind of point me out so he can find me when he comes back in. I'm not quite sure if he's ever going to give up his weapons, but he might just come to his senses and understand that this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Understood. Yeah, going ahead and go over to Archon Firaxis.
All right, where's my guy? Grab. And I'm going to put my back to Magnum. So I'm close to him, but I know he's on my six, so I can definitely trust that direction.
Fair enough.
Ah, good Ambassador Sweet Spot. I have heard so much about you.
He kind of dismisses the people around him. so he can talk to you.
Oh, please, sir, don't stop on my account. I have a general vested interest in what you have to say. And I'm sure the topic of the conversation is very interesting for all involved. Please continue. I'll jump in.
No, nonsense, please. This celebration is not just for us, but to meet new potential friends.
Well, thank you very much for your kindness and your hospitality. This is a lovely get together here. Very soiree.
Tell me, Sweet Spot, I'm very interested in hearing your views on our religion, on Micronus. Is Micronus venerated on your planet as well?
Not per se. We do venerate the primes more or less. And of course the Titans that have spawned so many of our colonies. I have in fact been in close contact to a prime from my world, the Velocitron, Navitas.
Navitas is a Titan, not a prime.
That's what I said, a Titan.
A living Titan, and you spoke with this one?
Spoke with him? I was in his damn head. Oh, sorry. Am I allowed to say damn? If not, I said it twice, and I'm sorry.
So in your world, they allow the populace into the Titans, into their very minds. Fascinating.
Well, not the whole populace. I was kind of on the short list for visitation rights. You know, he actually sponsored me way back when I was starting my career as a political bot. It's quite interesting.
I had no idea that Titans were so involved in the minutiae of day-to-day life. Unless, of course, the Titan must have seen the spark of greatness within you. So that must be why. Well, which prime do you worship then? If you do not worship Micronus, say one of the other primes, which one?
Optimus is a fine example of a good prime, a good bot. We all look up to him. We follow his moral character and stature. We do try to emulate his actions in our day-to-day lives. Let me ask you this here: how do you interpret your venerated bot there, Micronus?
Micronus is the ultimate supporting role in universe. He taught us that all Micromasters within the galaxy are supposed to elevate and lift up their larger brethren. And when we combine Micromasters with the average bot, the ones who are not as elevated, the lesser bot, they become great. They become one with the cosmos. They become one with the great machine.
That is very interesting. Now, so you venerate the aspect of service from the bots.
Absolutely correct.
Now, do theological debates about the will of Micronus happen?
Not in polite circles, no. The majority of questioners are among the lower castes and are often rogue elements of the great machine.
Well, you were curious about who I venerate. What happens if others of your kind, and I assume there are others that are going to be curious, it's only natural. But what happens if they start asking after who we venerate and who we worship and want to kind of get more involved and understand it? What if they started to want to practice?
So when you say that, you kind of notice a bit of like almost like an unbelieving kind of element to that. Whereas, like, why would anyone not want to venerate Micronus? Like, why would anyone not want to be part of this great society? And he'll answer,
well, I suppose, Ambassador, that every society is going to have its own great machine, its own great levers and gears, and the running structure of it. And if that society wants to venerate a different prime than Micronus, that is their right. But this world is part of Micronus, part of his sphere of influence, his machine.
So, what happens when someone does have a debate about something of that sort? How do you settle those?
There is no settling. Micronus is all. Micronus is the patron prime. Micronus is the machine. And you can have an academic debate as to whether or not Micronus is what life would be like if Micronus was not part of our great society.
Oh,
but that's all it
forbid.
is. Of course. That's all it is. It's an academic debate. Nothing to take seriously. But you could ask yourself, what if I was alive without a spark? But it's academic. No one that does not have a spark.
Right. I mean, it's clearly a non-issue, non-question. So let me ask you: would you, your own feelings on the matter, would you forbid, tolerate, or encourage personal exploration of dissenting religious beliefs?
There are no dissenting beliefs. You are the part of the machine or you are not. So the very nature of the question feels like it is an incorrect interpretation.
So are you saying it would be forbidden?
I suppose in your terminology it would not be allowed, no.
All right, go ahead and choose what you'd like to do and make a roll.
I think I'm gonna have to go with let me look here. Yeah, I'm thinking probably diplomacy would be my best bet here.
Okay.
For you?
I don't think they can use piloting.
Yeah, I thought about it, but
He just runs around him in a circle to confuse him.
guess not.
Here in nature, you see the wild sweet spot, confusing the robo-space pope.
Your attack was super successful. All right, here we go. Rolling it up. Diplomacy. Where's my roll? Where'd it go? It is a 29, sir. 29 for diplomacy.
29. Okay. You, sir, are successful.
Haha.
You see kind of the like his expression change as he kind of goes through a number of different thoughts where he's kind of considering, is there something is this something that we're going to have to worry about as we talk to other colonists, we talk to other races? Because you kind of get the feeling that this religion has been the standard religion, the accepted religion for so long, that the idea of something that is coming in to challenge it is almost unheard of. So you have given him a something significant to think about.
All right. To kind of diffuse that a little bit, I will ask him to explain all he can about the benefits of Micronus, because I am very, very interested in learning more. And I will just shut up and listen for a bit and let him go on. And when he gets excited, I'll get excited. And if he gets kind of contemplative, I will be thoughtful too.
Okay.
The benefits of Micronus, they are all small but many.
Small but many.
That's fair. Okay.
Like gummy bears.
All right, and last on this round here, Spindrift.
Last persona. You'd mentioned General Silver is the military might.
That is correct.
Is anyone else here involved in military, or is it just him?
He is the commander of all our military forces. That includes all of our ground-based and naval-based soldiers. But no, no one else around here is military. Aside from the guards, of course, the large guards you can see on each of the entrances here. And he would be the commanding officer for your Lieutenant Ironlift here as well.
Oh.
But no, no one else is part of the military. You may have heard, but each of the quartets have their own specific domains, and they are duty bound to not interfere within each other's domains.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, thank you. I think I'll go speak with him.
Cool, let's do it.
Make my way over to General Silver.
Hi-ho, General Silver! Away!
As you approach, he will stand at attention, not like saluting you or anything, but as a gesture of respect, he will turn all his attention to you.
And I'll do... If the sweet spot gave us anything to do as we approach these people, then I will do whatever might be relevant to greet them.
Of course.
Yeah.
General Silver, it's nice to meet you. I'm Spindrift.
Likewise, it is an honor to meet an explorer from so far away. Your bravery and courage does you credit.
Oh, thank you. It's very nice of you to say. Says, I'm sure you've heard of the attack on the tram.
Yes, I was briefed about it just the other day. A mechanoworm. It's a very unusual thing to experience. But I must say, from what I've heard, all of you acquitted yourself quite well, and you have certainly earned the respect of Lieutenant Ironlift. And from what I understand, that is not an easy person to win over.
I was just curious. It seems like threats like that aren't common here, which is a good thing, obviously. What sort of threats do you face here? Is it mostly creatures from the planet like that?
Thankfully, no. The last time a mechanoworm surfaced was millennia ago. Attacks by them are rare and unusual. From what I understand, that one that attacked you was actually fairly large. There are still, of course, some animals native to the planet who are long buried in the lower levels of the planet. However, they do occasionally show up. But to answer your question, the threats that face our world are not typically physical ones. We do have the occasional pirates from other systems, but they are easily dealt with. They're nothing more than raiders. No, I believe that any problems that we have with the society are likely within it versus from without.
Problems within your society. Is it related to the caste system, like uprisings?
And when you say that, he kind of pulls back a little bit. You get the feeling he doesn't want to talk about like actual uprisings with you, because that would make his society look very weak. But he will say this.
No, not uprisings, of course. That would mean that the great machine is not working as intended. But within every machine, there are always going to be rogue elements that need to be dealt with. And it's interesting that out of all of your companions, you were the first one to speak with me. From what I am told, you have somewhat of a mystic bend about you.
Indeed, I do. Is that something not common here?
Certainly not common, no. But it put me in mind of something that I wanted to ask you about from your home and from Cybertron.
And he kind of he'll kind of pull you not so much to the side, but just a little bit like away from like the within easy eavesdropping distance, and he'll ask,
Tell me, the concept of free will on your society, what is it? How is it manifest? For we are free to choose how we act on a day-to-day basis, but we are obviously not free to choose to not be part of the great machine. We cannot choose to not be in the military, for example. We are, whatever caste we are in, that is the caste we are in. But how does that work within your society?
As you know, we don't have that caste system, so we are free to make our own choices. We are free to join the military if we wish. We are free to be engineers if we wish. We are free to do whatever we wish. If we want to explore, we can do that. If we want to try multiple things, we don't have to be locked into one choice as well. You may want to serve the military for some time and then move to a different profession. And it's just your choice, really. Nobody is going to tell you what you have to do.
How does that affect your society, though?
Most of the civilization is, works together to form our society, much like yours does, except that there are some of us who wish to help others, who wish to perform service for our community. So we take up these positions, not because we are forced to, but because we want to. There are some who do not, rogue elements, as you might say, but we do not have to enforce professions upon them. They are free to do what they wish. If they choose not to join the community or society, then that's okay. They don't have to. But most of us still wish to serve in some capacity.
That is a fascinating point of view.
do you want to make a roll?
Yes.
You do have options on this one, so you can tell me what you want to roll, and
I'm thinking on this one, culture might be more appropriate.
Okay.
Speaking of, how the society works and things like that, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try culture.
Okay.
And I got a 25.
You got a 25. So that's Spindrift on silver with culture. And you happen to hit several bonuses on this one, which brought the DC down to ridiculously low.
Oh, wow.
So you managed to hit this one really, really well. And you succeed on this one. So at the end of round one, you have 2 points towards your outcome here, towards a potential alliance with these folks. You had actually two full successes with the two people you wanted to talk to.
Excellent.
Those two were the barbershop quartet.
Yep.
Nice.
And we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Nice.
From the Secret Files of Teletran 1,
Sorry, guys.
Empire of Rust is written and GM by Michael Ordway. Detective Magnum and his partner Pythagoras are played by Matthew G. Ambassador Sweetspot, Councilman of Velocitron, is played by Adam H.U. The Decepticon Target Master, Wildstrike, and his partner Nyko are played by Mike M. And Carapace, the Beast Warrior of Primitive Eucharist, is played by Patrick Finn. Additional characters are played by Michael Ordway, Brandon Ouellette, and Charlotte Chapman. Outro narration by Derek Bixby. Empire of Rust is supported by the humans and networks of planet Earth, whose online networks provide access to libraries of sound effects and music such as Storyblocks, Zasplat, Blue Zone, Pixabay, Paper Yellow Music, and Dark Fantasy Studios. We are distributed by the Transmissions Podcast Network. Stay up to date with all the latest news and reviews in the world of the Transformers by going to transmissionspodcast.com or searching the Transmissions wherever you get podcasts. You can communicate with the heroes of Cybertron by joining us on the Transmissions Discord channel. There you can discuss episodes, talk to the cast, and download the rule set used in Empire of Rust. Teletran 1, signing off.